Imagine there's a root you plant once and harvest for years. A root you can dig from frozen ground in the dead of February when the rest of the garden is asleep. A root that doesn't become worse after frost, but sweeter. It used to be called sugar from the soil, back when sweetness was still a luxury, not something poured out of plastic bags. And here's the twist. It still exists. It grows effortlessly. It's just nowhere on store shelves. Why does almost no one know it anymore? And why does its disappearance seem so conveniently aligned with a system that values uniformity above everything else? If a plant doesn't just survive cold, but becomes more aromatic and sweeter afterward, if it comes back as a perennial instead of starting from scratch every year, if its flavor sits somewhere between carrot, parsnip, and honey, why isn't it sitting next to potatoes and carrots in the produce aisle? Was it forgotten because it wasn't good? Or because it didn't fit the logic of modern supply chains? And if that's true, this isn't just about one root. It's about everything you see in the supermarket. What does it say about our food system when easy to transport matters more than good to nourish? Welcome to the Rooted Archives, the place where we collect knowledge that didn't disappear because it was useless, but because it was filtered out. Today, Skirret, also known as sugar root. Botanical name, Sium sisarum, known in Europe for centuries. Cultivated in monastery gardens, served in princely kitchens, and then almost completely erased from everyday life. Today you'll get three things: the story of this root, the real reason it vanished, and the question, does it belong back in your garden? Because this isn't just a botany story, it's a story about when easy to process became more important than good to eat. Let's go to Rome, sometime in the 1st century AD. An emperor, tradition names Tiberius, had roots delivered from regions north of the Alps. Not because he had no alternatives, but because this root developed exceptional flavor there. Cool, moist, northern. Exactly the conditions where Skirret thrives. In Roman texts, a root vegetable called sisarum appears. Praised, desired, traded. What matters isn't whether every historical reference is botanically flawless. What matters is this. This root was valuable enough to be documented by people who had access to everything. Then came the shift. As self-sufficiency gave way to market logic, a quiet sorting process began. What doesn't look uniform loses. What isn't machine-friendly loses. What takes time loses. Skirret doesn't form one perfect root. It grows in clusters, several roots, slightly twisted, irregular. In the garden, a gift. In the supply chain, a problem. Did Skirret disappear because people stopped wanting it, or because machines couldn't process it? Now let's look at what this root actually does, without exaggeration. First, Skirret is perennial. Once established, it regrows from the same crown year after year. No annual restart, no annual purchase. Second, it's traditionally known for exceptional sweetness, not like sugarcane. But when cooked or roasted, it develops a natural sweetness that surpasses carrot and parsnip. It has even been used to make flour. Third, it's winter hardy. When the rest of the garden stands still, you can still harvest Skirret. If it can do all that, why isn't it standard? Stay with me. The answer may surprise you. Most root crops mean an annual reset. Sow, care, harvest, start again. Every year back to zero. Skirret works differently, and that's its biggest advantage. Here's how. In fall or early spring, carefully dig up an established plant. Remove several of the strongest daughter roots, recognizable by their small white growth buds. Replant the remaining crown and cover lightly with compost. Plant the removed roots in a new location about 4 inches deep, in sun to partial shade. That's it. Next year you'll have 2 plants. The year after that, 4. Late winter, early spring. The soil is cold. Supplies run low. Fresh produce is scarce. And that's exactly when you can harvest skirret. Many root vegetables become sweeter after exposure to cold, converting starch into sugar to protect themselves from freezing. With skirret, this effect is especially noticeable. Here's how you use that winter advantage. Leave the roots in the ground until you need them. No cellar, no storage room. The soil is your refrigerator. Mark the spot in fall with a stick so you can find it under snow. Then dig, wash, cook. Earlier generations understood this, not because of marketing, because of resilience. What if this plant wasn't built for glossy supermarket shelves, but for difficult times? Then difficult times would be exactly when we should plant it again. Now for the sober reality. To understand why skirret disappeared, you need to understand how supermarkets operate. Supermarkets are not taste systems. They are logistics systems. And logistics loves uniform shapes. And time is the most expensive resource in a supply chain optimized for throughput. If a plant is too imperfect for the machine, is the plant the problem? Or is the system too narrow? Let's compare directly. The carrot is logistics. 1 root. Smooth shape, machine-friendly, easy to wash. Easy to store, easy to transport. Uniform everywhere. Skirret is flavor. Clusters. Complex aroma. Natural sweetness. Perennial. Winter hardy. More labor-intensive. We didn't just trade vegetables. We traded principles. Flavor and diversity. 4. Uniformity and standardization. And this isn't just historical. It's a question every time you shop. What makes it onto the shelf? The best or the most practical? What if progress in food often means less variety, just better packaged, with no seasonal change? Conditions are shifting, and that changes which plants become relevant again. Inputs are becoming more expensive. Fertilizer, energy, transportation. Weather is becoming less predictable. Heat, frost, drought. Perennial systems are gaining importance because they're more stable. Flavor is becoming important again because people sense what's missing. Skirret fits this moment, not as a mass commodity, not as a trendy superfood, but as a quiet, reliable garden crop. Here's how to begin. Plant in year 1 and wait. Skirret needs time to establish. Harvest begins in year 2. By year 3, it becomes self-sustaining. Perennial crops are one of the most direct shortcuts to a garden that requires less and gives more. Maybe that's the real reason plants like this are never loudly promoted. Independence doesn't sell well. In the kitchen, you'll recognize skirret by its cluster of thin, whitish roots, like miniature parsnips, several attached together, and by its sweet aroma when cut. How to prepare it? Boil in salted water for 10 to 15 minutes until tender. Roast at 400 degrees Fahrenheit with olive oil and salt to bring out maximum sweetness. Mash like parsnips, but more aromatic. Skirret is rarely eaten raw. Cooked, it shines. 3 growing rules. First, patience. The first year builds the plant. Second, harvest selectively. Never remove everything. Always leave shoots for next year. Third, Choose a sunny to partially shaded location with loose, well-drained soil. If the first roots are small, don't get discouraged. Year 2 gets exciting. By year 3, you'll understand why emperors sent messengers to obtain it. You just need to plant once. Write Skirret in the comments if you want to try it.